This is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and this morning we have some breaking news. The lender platform Celsius has just frozen withdrawals a couple hours ago. This is something we've been talking a lot about on this channel. I've tried to emphasize over the past 2 years, not your keys, not your coins, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. If you have to ask permission to move your Bitcoin, it's not really your Bitcoin. And so when you hold your Bitcoin on an exchange or other service like Celsius, you're not holding your own private keys and you don't have full financial self-sovereignty. So unfortunately, this video that I made on May 15th, it has come true. It looks like it is quite likely that Celsius has imploded. They have frozen withdrawals and they have stopped all swaps and transfers between accounts, they say, in the interest of preserving liquidity. Meanwhile, the Celsius token, which has really been the canary in the coal mine, is tanking down 70% in just an hour after the company paused withdrawals. We can see here that token trading at just 21 cents, down from about, I think it was about 80 cents when I made this video less than a month ago. It looks like other companies are actually trying to buy Celsius, or at least buy their assets as they see the distress in the market. If you're currently holding any assets on Celsius, unfortunately, there's a very good chance that you might not get anything back. If you get something back, it might be 5 or 10 cents on the dollar. This is the problem with these black box platforms, especially ones run by unscrupulous characters who are doing all of this bizarre lending. For example, Celsius had a lot of money in some of the Luna protocols before they imploded, and they were able to get that money out quickly. But this is not, unfortunately, this was marketed as sort of like a safe bank that just pays you interest. Unfortunately, as I pointed out in previous videos, it was this black box run by the CEO, and now it looks like it's completely over. Fortunately, a lot of you saw that video that I made about a month ago about Celsius. Is Celsius about to implode? And you can see all the comments here. A lot of people were able to get out. Some of you, unfortunately, still trapped in there. So we'll see what's going to happen. Meanwhile, I can't emphasize this enough, and I've made video after video after video about it. Here's one from February talking about how Kraken will freeze your Bitcoin. And this is not to pick on Kraken. Any of these exchanges can hold your Bitcoin, have a liquidity crisis, and not return it. So whether it's Gemini, Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, FTX, you name it, not your keys, not your coins. If you're interested in learning how to hold your own Bitcoin, I made 2 videos about this at the beginning of this year. First one here, the best ways to store small and medium amounts of Bitcoin, and you really have to define that for yourself, what a small or medium amount is. Small amount might be equivalent to the amount of cash you keep in your wallet. A medium amount might be equivalent to the amount of money you would normally keep in your checking account, and then a large amount of Bitcoin might be equivalent to your savings account or some sort of savings vehicle. So I have this video on how to store small and medium amounts of Bitcoin. You can also watch this one about Multi-Sig, which is really the gold standard, or I should say the Bitcoin standard for storing large amounts of Bitcoin. Multi-Sig, where you have multiple hardware wallets and you need them to sign. You need 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5 to sign in order to move your Bitcoin. At this point in this crypto bear market and financial bear market, it's really important to know what you own. If you're still someone who's owning dog coins or VC coins like Solana or Luna, meme coins, cat purse boy coins like Ethereum, you're just not going to make it, because this is the trial by fire we're going through right now. And many of these coins will never come back anywhere close to their all-time highs. They'll go to pennies on the dollar, and they might just disappear completely. Meanwhile, we're seeing all the traditional financial markets imploding as well. I'm recording this right before the market opens. The NASDAQ futures are down over 300 points, which is about 2.7%. The S&P down over 2%. Bitcoin is trading at numbers that you can't even believe it when you look at your screen. I've been calling for Bitcoin to hit 25,000 to 20,000 in the coming months. Looks like we might get to 20,000 even faster than I was expecting. Bitcoin currently trading at 23,620 according to Clark Moody's Bitcoin dashboard. This is what it means to be a hodler. It was really fun during the bull market when the price of Bitcoin was pumping and going up every single day. Unfortunately, this is not how Bitcoin always moves. It's extremely volatile to the upside and to the downside. Fortunately, most of the volatility is attributable to Bitcoin going up a lot. But this is the path of hodlers. And this is why I emphasize on this channel, I emphasize avoiding altcoins, and I emphasize really understanding what you own. And this is so when you buy Bitcoin, or if you buy Bitcoin, you know what you own. You can sleep at night. You can sleep during weeks like this when there's this tremendous volatility. Everything's imploding, and it's difficult to know the good assets from the bad assets. We're seeing the ETH Bitcoin cross plummeting. What this means is Bitcoin is strengthening against all the altcoins, in particular against Ethereum. I like to think of this as the world healing. These are all inferior forms of money. They're very weak forms of money. Bitcoin is a very strong form of money, and we really see this in times of crisis as money flows into Bitcoin and out of the altcoins. If you own Bitcoin and you hold your own private keys, you're not leaving your Bitcoin on Kraken or Coinbase or Celsius, you can sleep like a baby at night because you know what you own. You own the only truly scarce and decentralized asset in the universe. It cannot be paused, it cannot be frozen, it cannot be confiscated unless you're keeping it at Celsius or holding it on an exchange, or someone else is holding your private keys for you. If you don't hold your own private keys, you're a lot like an American in 1933 who realized the economy was in trouble but kept his or her gold in a bank vault. What happened is the U.S. government came in, bought everyone's gold at a very low price, immediately revalued it to a high price, and this is how the gold ended up in Fort Knox. Bitcoin, like gold, is a bearer asset, but you have to take possession of it. The way you take possession of gold is you hold it in a physical space that you control. The way you take possession of Bitcoin is by controlling your own private keys, preferably holding your Bitcoin on something like a hardware wallet, as I talk about in those two videos that I referenced before. In the meantime, the tide is going out. There are going to be more blowups. There are going to be more casualties of this bear market. We'll see companies imploding. So it's very, very important, if you haven't figured this out yet, to figure out how to get your Bitcoin off the exchanges, off the apps and services that you might be holding it on, and get it into your own self-custody while you still can before something like Celsius happens to you. Fingers crossed for those of you who still have Bitcoin or other assets at Celsius. I'm really hoping for the best for you. I don't take any joy in being right about this. What we've seen is really a traditional bank run, something very similar to a traditional bank run at Celsius. And this was a company that was clearly run by fairly slimy people, in my opinion. So hopefully you can get your Bitcoin off wherever you're holding it before that place blows up. This is not to be alarmist. There's, I would say, there's a very small chance that something like a Coinbase would blow up, but you really never know. A lot of these exchanges, they don't publish proof of reserves, and it may turn out that they don't hold as many real Bitcoin as they say they do. And so if everyone tries to get their Bitcoin off at the same time, there will not be enough Bitcoin to go around, and the company will implode just like Celsius is imploding. Not your keys, not your coins. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.